The New York Jets might be catching a break in week one. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about why the Jets might be catching a break here in week one, although someone has something to say about that. Before we get started today, I just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Also, make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast, and new episodes of Exit 16 West drop on Patreon every Thursday, and we're going to have bonus content over there throughout the season as per usual. So what do I mean by the Jets catching a break? And yes, there's real football to be starting to get talked about, which I am very much so here for. Rookies reported yesterday. We had Breece Hall sign his rookie deal. All the rookies are signed. Everyone is there. Things are coming up New York Jets right now. And another area things might be coming up New York Jets is where someone might not be able to go on the Baltimore Ravens, and that someone is J.K. Dobbins. Ian Rappaport tweeted out saying that Dobbins is no sure thing for week one, and that's why the Ravens, I almost said the Jets, the Ravens decided to bring in some extra depth at the running back position. Now, J.K. Dobbins responded, though. He does not believe that to be the case, so there is conflicting reports. Dobbins replied and said that he might not even go on the PUP list, physically unable to perform list, because of his rehab and it going so well, and he thinks he is going to play in week one. Obviously, the Ravens' week one opponent is the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium, which is a huge game, and them not having RB1 is going to make a big difference. He missed the entirety of last year, unfortunately. As a rookie, he was very, very good in 2020. He rushed for 805 yards, 9 touchdowns for 6 yards a carry. They had 3 rushers over 700 yards that year, I believe. Lamar Jackson went over 1,000. You had J.K. Dobbins at 800, and then you also had Gus Edwards, who was over 700. And that three-headed beast is expected to be back. And even if, let's say, J.K. Dobbins isn't good enough to go, well, you're still going to have Lamar Jackson, who is obviously the best running quarterback in the game. Gus Edwards, who should be back this year. He missed last year as well. And Mike Davis, who they brought in free agency. So they have depth on that running back room and with their rushing attack. And we know how bad the Jets were last year, stopping the run. They ranked 29th in rushing yards allowed and 32nd in rushing touchdowns. So they allowed the most rushing touchdowns against last year. Not good. Now, what might help mitigate some of those problems are some of the guys that they drafted. For instance, Sauce Gardner is really good in the run game as a corner, coming up and making plays. Jermaine Johnson is going to be very good in the run game. And a couple of free agent signings in Jordan Whitehead, specializes in coming down from the safety position to make plays in the run game. And DJ Reed is someone who also can make plays in the run game. So they have a couple of new faces who should help out. But still, if you're looking, and this is super early, and we're going to talk about it more leading up to when the game actually happens. But on paper, one of the Jets' weaknesses, I think, would be against teams who are going to be able to run the ball well because of some of their question marks at the linebacker position in particular. And just it's not good. They're projected to be more of a team who's able to get after the passer and lock some guys down in coverage with their 2 outside corners. That's just my take. Now, I don't think they're going to be 32nd against the run again. I don't think they're going to be the worst rushing defense in the entire league. That would be pretty disappointing if they were. But it's going to be an area in which I think that they struggle, and it's going to be a tough matchup. Now, I would assume that you would have to do, and again, we are weeks and weeks and weeks out, but I'm craving football and just saw this story from earlier and wanted to talk about it. What I would do is do everything in my power to try to take away the run and have Lamar beat me with his arm. They obviously have Mark Andrews, who is one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and he's their best receiving option that they have. Outside of that, there's a lot of question marks in that wide receiver room, especially after they traded Marquise Brown. You had Rashad Bateman from last year. He missed some time. And they're going to try to get this thing going in the right direction in that wide receiver room. But still, a lot of question marks and a little bit of some unknown here. And one of those things being if J.K. Dobbins is going to be good to go or not. And if he's not, well, then the Jets catch a little bit of a break. So it would be nice to have things coming up. Jets, obviously, wish him the best of health. Don't like injuries in the NFL. It's part of the game and it's an unfortunate thing, but we'll see what happens. Let me know what your take is. Do you side with Ian Rappaport? Do you agree that J.K. Dobbins might not be good to go in week 1? Or are you with the player here? Do you think J.K. is right and that he is going to be good to go? We'll see. We're a few weeks away from that, but for now, I am Matt O'Leary. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time.